Hi everybody, I'm coming to you this morning from beautiful downtown Cadillac, Michigan. My name is Joe Bannister. I'm a 66-year-old man. Some people say I'm a crazy 66-year-old man, but to each his own. Different strokes for different folks. So here's the deal. About 15 years ago, my kids gave me my very first iPod. And on the back of that iPod was an inscription that I've tried to instill in my kids since they were just babies. And it says, "Leap and your net will appear. You inspire us to be us." 2.5 years ago I leapt. And this is the net that appeared. And it's been such a reward. It was a really soft, nice net. So what I want to do is share this with you. This is a 2000 International school bus that was the Mid-Michigan College band bus. It's got 85,000 miles. It has an automatic transmission. It's a diesel, and I hear that these guys run forever. So what I want to do is give you a tour. My wife and I, for the past 2.5 years, have been gutting it and rebuilding it into our home, which is probably within 6 months of being a reality. So please join me. If I get too excited, I'm going to try to slow down. Once I get inside and get showing people, it gets fun. So I'll try to go easy. I'll try to show you what's what. It's got a lot of features, a lot of benefits, a lot of fun things. So we're going to start on the outside. When we first bought the bus on March the 4th in 2017, my younger brother, who lives in Colorado, sent me this sign. He is in the sign business. Sent me this sign that kind of set the tone for the whole project. This bus will eventually end up in the mountains, and as you can see, one of the first things we did is we installed a mural on the front of the bus that is a logo of a local company that looks pretty swell. It's the mountains, and that's our destination. That's the destination bar on our bus. So as we start outside, I'm going to show you the first things first. And one of the biggest improvements we've made, and one of the biggest things that was an issue with me from the very beginning, was the fact that with a school bus, the doors open from the center out like this, which is simply not much of a residential type opening. So one of the first things I wanted to do was to change this into a single swing door. And by doing that, I took the, when you saw your bus driver and he'd pick the kids up and he'd grab that big mechanism and he'd do that, and the doors that are 6 feet away would go like that. That's what this did. Well, enough of that. So what we did is we decided that we would make this a single swing door, which is now just like this, which opens like a residential door. This is Dave. By doing that, on the inside, I want to show you this on the inside and then we'll stay outside, but this is key because this is one of the biggest improvements we've made on the bus. Inside here, where all of that mechanism was, where the bus driver would open the door, has now been just taken out, and we have gained all of this space right here that we can now use as part of our living area. So it's really a sweet improvement. So yeah, that's what's going on with the door. When we first started taking this bus out, we took it out camping about 4 weeks ago for the very first time. Let me get my dog. Dave, get over here, good boy. When we first took it out camping, one of the first things we realized was when we were setting up outside, which is where we live, we sleep in there and we live out here. But as we were setting up outside, we thought, what we need is we actually need a serving table so that when we're setting up, we've got an area for preparation. So our solution to that was this. I did not want to put any type of pressure treated wood or anything that would compromise the integrity of the bus on the outside. The appearance is key. I think the bus is beautiful. I love the color scheme. And so I didn't want to interrupt that. So what we've done is I've taken PVC fence posts and I have mounted 3 of them together, and it gives me about a 15-inch surface. And on that 15-inch surface, I can, at this point in time, just use it as a complete setup. I will at some point have an electrical outlet out here, and then this will become our serving table as we're set up outside. Now, on the ends of the end caps, the PVC fittings and caps, I did not glue them. I put self-tapping screws in there. The reason I did that is because we can take these caps off and we can carry with us all of our long and skinny posts and things that we need to set up our canopy. It's over 8 feet long. It's 4 inches in square diameter, whatever that is. And we carry our gray tank drain hose in here. We carry our post for our canopies. We carry ropes. We carry long pieces of cable. Anything that will not fit comfortably in the bus goes in here. Just awesome. Just awesome. So that's a really nice improvement, and I think aesthetically it's as nice looking as the bus itself. While we're transporting, it simply is heavy enough to hang down, and it doesn't present any problems. Also on the outside of the bus, we were talking about the canopy. I've always been a scapegoat and thinking, hell, I can do that for cheaper. So rather than buy a really expensive fold down awning and all that, as I was rummaging through the dumpsters in the area, which is where we got all of our inside wood you'll see here in a little while. Basically, I have a very fun time going out and finding useful purposes for stuff that people throw away. Case in point, one day I was down the street and I picked up, a gentleman had built himself a 3/4 inch PVC pipe grapevine trellis. I bet there was 50 feet of pipe and probably 100 of these little eye bolts. Well, being this scavenger and the pack rat that I am, I stopped, picked them up. The water pipe is now my water tank water pipe, and the eyelets are now holding up my service table, and they are also the anchors for my canopy. My canopy is nothing more than a nice blue, matches this color blue, tarp from Harbor Freight. It's probably 17 by 20. We set it up outside. It goes out as far as we want. We can fold it in half. It's cheap. People see us coming and they think, here come those hippies. But we enjoy it. And when I tell you how much money I've got in this project at the end of it, you'll be surprised. So just keep in mind everything we got going on. All right, as we come back here, you can see up top, that's the chimney for our wood burning stove, which is our heat source in the bus itself. Today it's a little bit chilly. It's fall day. It's not chilly, but it's fun to have a fire in the wood burner, so we got a fire going. Aesthetically, when you go inside, it's going to add to it. All right, one nice thing about a school bus, the majority of the windows in a school bus are the same size. And excuse me. With that being said, we made screens that fit the majority of the windows. The only ones it doesn't fit are the very tail end windows, which are a little bit longer, and the emergency exit windows, which there's 2 on each side. But these screens now fit virtually every window in the bus. So that means that we can open the windows inside during the summer and ventilate it so nicely without any concerns or worries about bugs. We got 6 of them. I think there's 2 in the bedroom. There's 1 in the shower. There's 1, 2 in the dining room. Another one somewhere. All right, so we're going to come to the back of the bus, and what I want to show you here is the mechanical or the utility section of the bus. This physically, when we get inside, you'll be able to relate where this is at once we get in there. But it's important for you to see this at this point. So you'll have to come around the door, and then I'll open the door. And what you can see here is this big surface right here is the back of our master bed, cabinets and stuff. And then everything in here is mechanical. These are our water tanks. I've got 4 15-gallon water tanks. This is my dog, Dave. Hi, Dave. These are the water tanks. That's under the bed. This is the water pump. As you can see, I've got valves that allow me to isolate the source of water that can be either my stored water. It can be campground water, or it can be no water. We try not to get to that no water scenario. But this is what the mechanical room looks like. It's about probably 3 by 7, probably 21, 22 square feet, 6 feet tall. It's barely enough, but it's good. So when we get inside, then you'll notice, and you'll be able to put it in perspective. So let's see. I'm going to go slow and easy. There's the awning, screens, service table, doors. All right, so let's go inside. This is going to be our home real soon. So here we go. As we first walk in, you'll notice that there's a lot of white, and the reason is I think white is easy to keep clean, and we used a marine grade paint that is exceptionally susceptible to scrubbing without being degraded. It works great. So first thing you do, when you saw Dave, you met Dave, and we have 2 other puppies. We got Maddie, which is Dave's sister, kinda, and then we have Ella, which is my videographer Taylor's puppy dog. Everybody lives in this house, and soon everybody other than Taylor and Ella is going to live in the bus. But dogs are a big part of us. So the first entryway is dedicated to them, and first things first. What we got here is a little invention that I made several years ago, and one of the problems that I thought I could address and make an improvement on was, what do you do with the paper and plastic bags when you try to store them for later use? Here's the answer. This little dispenser, I don't call it a dispenser, we just call it a paper plastic. But basically what you do is you pull the plastic out. After Dave goes out in the yard and does his duty, you can take this plastic bag, go out and clean it up, and then throw it in the trash. Perfect. Now, when you get home from the store and you got 15 of these guys, what am I going to do with them? Want to stuff? No. So what you do is you simply do this. You stuff it in there, and it's almost like a perpetual motion machine, because if you feed it, you can always have another bag right there. Nice and easy. Cool. All right, with that being said, we're going to come in. This is the dog cabinet. This is where we keep all of our dog food. We keep our leashes, water bowls, everything dog is in there. Nice and easy. It's easy to get to, makes access to it a breeze. So please wipe your feet when you come in. It's important to keep it clean. It's a small space, but it gets dirty quick. So come on in.
Come on, Dave.
Come on, Dave. This is one of my favorite pieces of artwork. I'm a plumbing contractor by trade. This little metal device here is known as a stud guard. If you buy a box of them like you have to as a plumber, they cost about a nickel a piece. And then this little thing was a gift that my daughter received from her. She was a camp counselor this year at the YMCA camp here in town, or she was actually the camp director. And that was a thank you gift to her from one of the kids. How you like that? For about a nickel and a half, we got a fine looking piece of art. All right, in the bus itself, this is the driver's seat area. And basically in the driver's seat area, everything's comfortable, it fits. When we're sitting in a stationary position in a campground or wherever we're going to be, we set up shop so that this area right here becomes an office. And well, I don't work anymore. Well, I work, but I don't acknowledge work. This becomes an office, a computer station, and just a place for me to chill. Up here we've got electricity, which allows us to use it as a charging station for our battery chargers for the bus. I keep the batteries charging 24/7, and that way hopefully we're going to prevent any surprises. Also up here, as I said, we got power outlets that allow us to charge the phone charges. Anything that needs to be charged, we can plug it in up here and utilize it up here. This little sign right here is from my daughter, and we did a Facebook video about a week ago, and that's the reason we're doing this. Is my very first YouTube video. The reason we're doing it is because we got such a good response from that Facebook thing, and quite honestly, it felt so good for me to see so many people asking for more. Hey, we want to see that bus, one guy, one of the very first comments on Facebook, and I'm an old man, and all I do on Facebook is read and don't make any comments. I read the comments, but I make very few. When I do, it's very neutral. But anyway, very first comment on our video was this kid said, "How dope is that?" So my third child, Caitlin, who is an entrepreneur at heart, has started in her past, she's 30 years old now, in her past she has started a princess party business, which is highly successful. She started a wig business to supply that industry with wigs, which has just blown up, got worldwide customers. And now she's doing this, whatever this is, she's doing this now. She gifted us just last weekend with all this bling and this, which says dope. I don't know if you can see it, but this is going to be, I don't know if it's too provocative, but I'd love to have this on the back of the bus with people knowing that that's a dope bus. So it's there. I'm contemplating, can I put it on there and not piss people off? So let me carry on. All right, in the bus we have installed a very substantial electrical system. It compares to any high quality residential system. I've got 7 dedicated circuits to independent areas of the bus. I've got 1 main breaker that protects everything, and then we've got about 60 feet of 30 amp cord that we can plug into a pedestal in a campground and or wherever we can plug in. So we're covered electrically as well as we are plumbing wise, as you saw back in the garage. So up here we got storage. Here, let me tell you the story real quick on the magnets. As you've seen, magnets are, and you will continue to see, magnets are pervasive in the bus. And the reason for that is 2.5 years ago, when we bought this thing, I told my kids, who are now aged 40 to 27, yeah, from 40 to 27, I told them, I said, hey, I bought a bus, and they basically were one of the very few people who believed in me. But I asked them, I said, anytime you go anywhere, would you please pick up a magnet and bring it back so we can stick it on the bus, and then that will eventually give us some targets to shoot at when we start traveling. Well, as you just perused through them, you can see that they bought into it full time, big time. So our agenda has been set by the commitment that I made to the kids and the kids made to me. How fun is that? So that's the story behind the magnets. Okay, up here, this was the original front door for a storage area that was in the bus, but what I did is to gain a little bit more storage. We knew it was going to be an issue storage wise, moving from a 4-bedroom 3-bathroom house into a 200 square foot bus, but what a fun challenge. Anyway, we extended this by about a foot. You can see right here behind my adventure sign. You can see I extended it out about a foot. I used the same door, but I gained a lot of storage space up here. This is my reverse camera that I just got that was a Christmas gift. However, I'm having a problem translating the Chinese as to how to install it. But I got a backup camera, but it's not hooked up yet. And everything else up here is basically just stuff that we use when we're sitting at a campsite. You know, last thing we want to do is get on this computer over here. So we got, you know, board games, card games, books, stuff like that. Just stuff that you use when you're campers. Also up here, this is just reference for anything that we need. You know, any kind of maps or books or stuff like that. We were gifted some books that are hopefully going to help us document our journeys. So it's fun. It's so much fun. Here's my aloe plant. Been doing this for 2.5 years. There's a lot of cuts and scratches and scrapes and all that. This guy's been a lifesaver. So it's going to travel with us forever. All right, we're moving into the dining room. In the dining room, this first thing I hope you notice is this is a mural that was created by my youngest daughter Taylor, who is also presently doing the video on what we're doing right now. So the creator of this is also what we're doing here. Hi baby. This is Home Sweet Home. Dining room. This chair rotates, swivels, and that gives us the ability to basically not just, we can see that everyone, it's such a big space, we have to be able to swing around and see everybody. But that works perfectly. This little table does fold down, however, it doesn't need to. We have found in our 4 trips out that we did not need at any point in time to gain any more space up here. And as you can see, Dave's very comfortable in tucking himself in under that seat. And that seat has that, obviously that curve in there, not just for him, but it fits him perfectly. But it also serves on the inside as, we use this dining room seat as storage for our fresh water, which we put in 1-gallon cans. Even though we carry 60 gallons of fresh water with us, we keep this, which we know came from a filtered water dispenser in the house, that it's clean for brushing our teeth and drinking coffee. I like coffee, I drink a lot of it, and I don't. The tanks that I got were tanks that came from a dairy, and they were originally chemical tanks for sanitizing farm equipment. My rationale there was, if it was used, if that container held sanitizer for dairy equipment, it's probably clean enough to drink out of. So we're filling it, we're flushing it through a couple of times with the water, and we're using that water to wash dishes, to do whatever, but we're not drinking it. So that's the reason we carry this water with us. Also in there, you may have noticed that in that little wedge, we carry all of our insect repellent and stuff like that. It's handy, nice and easy. On this side over here, this is the living room area. This 6-foot couch has in fact served a threefold purpose from the very beginning, and it's done it very well. So basically what it does is this: it's a 6-foot plus sofa. It's also a pull-out bed. As you can see right here, these slats pull out and it becomes a double bed. And the nicest thing about it is it lifts up, and this storage is everything that we need to set up outside. That includes our awning, our canopy. Doesn't include our chairs. No chairs are in there, but ropes, carabiners, tarps, you name it. If it's outside, mats, rugs, that's where it's stored. It's nice and easy. We can get to it. We can get to the door right there, and no time flat. Up here, cabinets. You'll see our cabinets have overhead sliding doors, and it makes it nicer because if a door swings either down or up, it takes away from space, and as you can see, the space is limited anyway. These doors are nice, and if anything comes forward, it can't knock them open. It holds it inside. Up to this point, we haven't had that problem. Also in here, we have little battery-operated push-button lights. Push-button puck lights. And that allows us to see what's going on in that dark cabinet. Really quick, funny story. First time we went camping, my daughter gave me these lights as a gift. She's building a van as well. She has a 93 GMC G20, Chevy G20. Anyway, it's sweet. She bought lights from Aldi that are remote control, and it's these puck lights, and there's like 6 or 8 of them in a set. She gave them to me, and I'm loving it. So she puts her pair in her bus. I put all of mine in my bus. First time I go camping, early in the morning. I get up really early. Early in the morning, I get up, and I this remote control right here, it works the lights. And so I get up in the morning, and I'm excited. Oh, my daughter bought me some lights. I'm going to turn them on. So I did that. She was sleeping in her van, 6 feet over. And when I turned on the remote, it was the same frequency. So I turned on the lights in her van as well. Scared her to death. She thought the cops were coming. But anyway, let me turn it back off so I don't forget them. Off. Okay. So there's our cabinets.
That light.
Here's our light in the kitchen. It's a nice fluorescent light, which is energy efficient, and it gives us good light. Okay, let's see. We stopped off right here. In this cabinet is all of our condiments. And all these condiments allow Sandy, my wife, to do what she does best, and she's an awesome cook. 4 kids. First thing they talk about when they talk about Sandy is how she enjoys cooking and how good she is at it. So, in order for her to carry on and enjoy life, we have provided a 20-inch LP RV size gas stove. with a full oven that allows her to utilize her skills. Up here is her condiments that she can get to, easy access, nice and easy. And it works. Right here, this will end up being white. Originally, this was just a space for storage. As I was doing this thing, I was always concerned about how much storage we would need and how much we could provide ourselves. I'll tell you what, I think that we've got more than enough storage, and there's a lot of empty spaces as we go through, you'll see. Anyway, this was originally going to be magazines and stuff like that you could, while traveling, you could read or whatever. And then this was going to be just a space in there to hold stuff. Well, very ineffective. So what I did, and it's kind of rickety and noisy, but very effective, and it's going to end up being white because, as I said, I love white. Everything's white. Cleans up good. Here's the deal. This is where we carry our coffee maker and our toaster during travel. And it sits in there like two peas in a pod. They don't move. Maybe they rattle. I don't hear them. They're in there. But it's nice because it gives us the opportunity to utilize that space, and it also keeps that stuff from rattling around. Also, this provides us with an additional seat when Sandy's done cooking her turkey dinners for Thanksgiving and we have our huge party going on. We got one more seat right here that we can communicate with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 more people. So yeah, cool. All right. I saw something over here I wanted to bring up. Oh, right here. This is what I saw. Right here. This is our basically close to the door. This is my cell phone charging station. I've got an outlet right above it, right there. And then right there with the cell phone sitting that close to the door, it's a very, very accessible, and just from here on out, that's where it's going to be. Done. Don't forget it. That's where it's at. That's good. These hooks right here. Basically, the first two hooks, the one right up front, this one right here, and this one right here, coordinate with this one and this one. And what that does is that gives me the opportunity to hang our 2 hammocks up here that we carry with us. We carry 2 extra hammocks, so in case we have friends that need to crash somewhere, we can strap them up right here and they're good to go. Granted, it gets crowded, but hey, it works. My daughter's slept in here many times. I've slept in here in a nap in a hammock, but yeah, it works. From there to there, and from here to here. In the kitchen. I'm sorry I'm jumping around, but we're slowly making our way back. Also in the kitchen, we've given ourselves this little easy cutting board. Gives us about an additional 2 square feet for surface area when meals are being prepared or whatever. In the kitchen, we have a 2-compartment stainless steel sink, fully functional. The water, I've got, as you saw in the back, our water consists of 60 gallons of stored water. We have the ability to isolate with ball valves water from the bus into the system, or from a water source outside the bus. We can hook it to the bus and use their water without using ours. Works good, and I got control of it with ball valves. I'm a plumber by trade, so I'm real confident about the plumbing in here. While we're in here, you'll notice that there's various different types of wood, and now the reason is because this wood up here on this wall, which was the very first wall that I installed in the bus. We bought our house 13 years ago, moved in, and started renovating. This was wood that was part of the carriage house that we tore down. Being the pack rat, as I mentioned that I am, I saved it forever, and look how nice it looks in here. It's really nice old wood, character, it's great. I bring that up because all this wood has been gifted to us from various people. This top and this top was given to us by our neighbors right there. Rather than throwing it into their fire pit that night, I said, "Can I have that?" They said, "Sure." It used to be a closet door. Now it's our countertop. I'm just going to put urethane on it as a nice clear topping, and should be good, but I like it. All this plywood was at one point in time purchased by a factory in Cadillac, and they used it. It came in 9.5-inch widths and about 9-foot lengths. And I have a friend that my son is a plumbing contractor, worked for me. He has a friend that worked at that factory who made a deal with these people. He had probably 30 pieces of that stuff stacked in his garage, and he asked me if I would do him a favor and come and take that plywood off his hands. Well, somebody had to do it, so it was me. But anyway, as you can see, I mean, this wood is premium stuff. It was U.S. government bought, so it's good stuff. And as I said, painted white, everything's white. I love it. All right, I don't want to run out of time, but I want to share with you everything. Pallet wood. When Sandy and I first bought this bus 2.5 years ago, there was seats in it still. So we spent the first several weeks gutting it, getting it just bare bones. Also at the same time, to break the monotony, what we would do is we'd get in our old 2006 Dodge Stratus, which I had removed the back seat out of so I could go out with my battery operated Sawzall, take a pallet, cut it in half so it was only 2 foot wide, shove it into my 2006 Dodge Stratus without a back seat, bring it home, and then just slice off the nails between the slats and the 2x that was holding it. And it left me with a lot of these planks right here with a lot of character, you know, a lot of nail holes and all that. That's perfect. If I want to hang a picture up here, you know what I do? I take my nail gun and I say, boom! Looks perfect. So it works and it don't move. It ain't coming off when we're driving. All right, coming back this way, we talked about the hooks for hammocks. These hooks also provide us a very primitive way of drying things. However, I'll explain what I mean. From here to here, we can hang a towel or a dishcloth or anything that might be wet. It'll drip right into the sink. Also, at the same time, the heat source for the bus is this little wood-burning stove that just cooks. I mean, it just does. It's fun. And the nice thing about that is the heat, as it rises, the top of the bus gets really nice and warm. And so it dries, whatever I got hanging up here, it dries quick. And the drying is even accelerated from a little surprise that I can show you in the back here. I won't say anything yet, but I got a surprise coming. So it's not really hot enough to be putting wood on the fire, but I love the way it looks. So I'll open this up a little bit and you can see how it looks. While I'm here, you saw I had that wide open, and you saw there was really hot embers in there, and you saw that I almost had total lack of any concern. Well, I'm pretty confident because this hearth is full-size fire brick that came from the chimney that we tore down on our house when we put a new metal roof on our house. And it's basically bulletproof. When in fact you're changing, when you're putting coals in or changing logs or whatever, even with the tray under here, there are occasions when embers will pop out. When they do, I really am not concerned because it's, as I said, it's fire brick. It's not going to go anywhere, and I do have a fire extinguisher right there. So safety is our top concern, and we try to do everything to make it that way. Excuse me. Okay, up here, this is just storage for stuff that we use quite frequently. Coffee, fake sugar, coffee filters, candy, popcorn candy. Love candy, easy to get to, and it's right there. Let's see, this little fan. I have two of these little fans. They sit on top of the stove, and they are heat activated. And the hotter it gets, the more RPMs it generates. Moves air very nicely in this small space. I have two of them. Most of the time, this one is sitting here pointing that way and into the living room. And the other one is turned this way, coming back across the chimney and blowing into this hallway. Because it gets heat from the chimney and above the stove, and it blows it back into here. All right, moving back. Let's see. Storage is good. You can see we got a huge amount of storage under the sink. My garbage can is in there. I left this off intentionally so that the garbage can doesn't become an issue out in the floor space. Because could be an issue in this small a space, but by doing this, you don't have to push a door open, and really, except when you're using the camera, you can't really see in there because it's so dark. All right, coming back into the other area. This is still a continuation of the culinary aspects of the bus. Here we have a microwave, basically a residential unit. Can't live without a microwave, got to have it. Here we have macaroni and cheese microwave. Put them in for 4 minutes, take it out, take the film off, stir it, put it back in for 3. You're good to go. Love it. I survive on these bad boys. Refrigerator, freezer and refrigerator. I've got this secured so that during travel it can't move, and I've done that by putting blocks on this side and then putting basically holds it, straps around it to hold it in place. Also back here you'll notice that most of the time beside a refrigerator you got that much space. On this side you got this much space. Well, in order to be space effective, what we've done is we've taken Harbor Freight magnets, and this is where we keep this is where we keep our cast iron skillet. This bad boy probably weighs about 12 pounds, and it's hanging on the wall right here, as you can see in there. Maybe it's too dark, but this thing goes on the wall. Listen to this. Clunk. It's there. Boom, it's there. Okay. Also here on the magnets is our little Hobo Joe sandwich maker that you put on your campfire. It's cast iron, it's heavy, it probably weighs 8 pounds. Even that, just with one point of contact, you can put it in here, you can hit it on that magnet, and if you do it correctly, it stays there. We've traveled hundreds of miles and we haven't lost anything. On this side, we got skewers for our barbecue, right here. Never lose them. How many you got? We got 4. 4 of them right there. Okay. Also in here, let me start with this. When we first started this project, we talked about putting doors everywhere. I don't think doors are the answer, because you're not going to make this bus soundproof. It's too small. You can't seal it up. No need to. But you can provide privacy. This curtain, which is perfect for providing privacy, allows you to separate the spaces, which is key. When it's this small, you got to have your space. These allow you to, without being actually restrictive, they allow you to separate the rooms and still hear, but at least not see through it. My wife still works, and she works hard. She likes to sleep in on the weekends wherever we're at, and by doing this, I can separate the rooms and at least mentally think that I'm being quiet and not bothering her, but we'll see. All right, also in here, you'll notice that we have pull chain lights. Nice and easy to get to. Who needs a switch? This is easier than a switch right there. I don't know. I might leave it on. I don't know if it affects the quality of the video, but my videographer will tell me that. As we come back, underneath the fridge, we've got storage for food or whatever. It's nice and cool down here, most of the coolest part of the bus, so it's a good place to store food. Baked potatoes, a lot of them go under there. That's that. Speaking of storage, you can see these little openings all through the bus. What I've done during construction is I didn't waste any space. This space here is the actual space that is the seat in our shower. So this is our shower. It's side to side. It's bigger than it is top to bottom, but the space is limited in height over here. So I thought to myself, well, I'm tall. If I sit in the shower, nice seat, it's comfy. I'm going to have a personal shower that's going to go from this shower head, and it's going to be mounted up there. And then with the personal shower, you can be sitting, standing, whatever. So yeah, works. It's not completely done yet, but it's getting close. As I said, we're about 90% done on the bus as its entirety. All right, I'm going to open and close this mirror real quick because the videographer is a little bit shy and she doesn't want to be seen. But here's a nice spot for a full-length, almost full-length mirror, which allows us to stand in the living room and dining room area, open this mirror, and see how we look as we put on our fancy khaki shorts and wife beater t-shirts. Okay, let's see. Shower, mirror. Come on back. This is our toilet room. We carry with us a Dometic type toilet, and it's basically at this point in time just for emergencies. My wife uses it a lot. I have yet to use it, but we've always been in spots up to this point where I've played a lot of golf and I've gone out in the woods a lot. So there's been occasion where I've gone out in the woods. But anyway, we do have a toilet that we carry with us. Also in this room is our primary organizational cabinets for stuff like first aid, hygiene, towels, just stuff. We got shower baskets that we carry in with us wherever we're at a campsite. Everything's all in one spot. Just take it and run. Nice room. And once again, storage underneath.
Go ahead and hit those lights back there.
Hit the light back here, or the big one?
Both of them.
Both of them, okay. There's another chain pull light. Pull chain light. Chain pull, same thing. Lights up the master bedroom. And we got another temporary light back here. It really talks to us. Okay, here we are in the hallway heading towards the master bathroom, but this is the, what do they call it? The par excellence or whatever. Anyway, washer and dryer. Washer and dryer. It's not really a dryer, it's an extractor, but it's this portable unit that washes clothes, put them in the extractor, it spins them out. They're still moist, but they're still damp, but when they come out, depending on what you need and how urgent it is, you can hang them up on our bungee cord above the wood-burning stove, and it dries like that. This also serves as an area when we travel. It carries our stuff, whatever we got, chairs for outside. We got shoe racks in here for shoes. We have a full-length curtain that we put on the front door during the night. It's nicely folded, as you can see right here. But everything, this is utility. That's what this is, and it works fine. Once again, a curtain. So here's a nice thing about a curtain. If you're thinking about doing a bus, think about this. It's narrow. Me and Dave are okay. But if my wife was in here, if we had a door right here, you can imagine I could come back this far and say, oops, sorry, hon, can you get in there? However, with the curtain, even if it's just psychological, you can say, oh, hi, sure. And look how much more room it is. It just, it gives you an illusion of, but you can gain some space, you know? All right, anyway, here is the master bedroom. In the master bedroom, earlier in the video, you saw the back side of this unit. This is our bed, obviously. On this side of the bed over here is those, are those 4 15-gallon water tanks that are right under there. And on this side of the bed, we have storage for basically, it's like, excuse me, it's just another little storage area that we carry all of our bus records and everything. Strangely enough, this file right here was part of the bus way back in the day. I got records in here from when this bad boy was purchased. And I mean, I got records on top of records on top of records. So yeah, I'm a lucky man because I know where this bus has been, where it came from, and where it's been. Up here, we got my part of the closet or dresser, whatever you want to call it. It's basically all my clothes. And I'm in hopes that our clothes are going to be, you know, we don't need a whole bunch of clothes where we're going. We'll need ski clothes in the winter to ski, and we'll need khakis and shorts and t-shirts in the summer. This is my side as well, but I'm not even using it. I just got it for extra stuff. We got power all along, hooked up on a dedicated circuit. Back here is that little, right there is the little potted plant pot and the hanger. And once again, in this situation, it holds not only the remote for the TV, which is mounted on the wall that shares the utility room. It also holds this is my wife's side of the bed. As I said earlier, I'm a crazy 66-year-old man. You can imagine if I was sleeping on that side, when you have to get up 4 times a night and go potty. So this is my side of the bed. So that's Sandy's side of the bed. That's where she charges her phone. That's probably too much information, but that's okay. Okay, coming back here. Come on back. We'll turn around. Videographer's going this way. As you look back this way, this mirror right here was originally up front, and it was horizontal rather than vertical. We thought it was, I wanted to keep it as just kind of a sentimental thing. It's the bust original, and it turns out, even though it's a little bit distorted, my wife can sit here with this stool back here and use it as a makeup mirror. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, what else? Let's see. Back here, okay, you're looking at the garage. You saw that earlier, and you're now just seeing it from a different point of view. It's accessible from beside the bedroom. In the corner back there, we just got some totes that carries extra blankets and extra stuff that we just need. So, folks, I think that we're real close. This is our biggest fan. He cannot wait to get going. So, folks, we're doing this as a first-time YouTube thing. I've never been on YouTube. As I said, man, it's warm up here. As I said earlier, we did a Facebook thing about a week and a half ago, and I got so excited about the responses and reactions that I got. It was just over the top. It really did a lot for my ego. Hey, I'm an old man. Don't take much to keep me happy. But here's the deal. We're doing a YouTube thing, and I have no idea how to get you guys to my spot. Oh, while I'm thinking about it. Also in the living room here, let me show you real quick. At night, when there's more light in the bus than there is outside the bus, just in general physics knowledge, which I obviously didn't have, we found out that inside when it was light and outside it was dark, even though these windows are tinted, you could see in like we were on stage. So it was pretty intimidating. So we have now, in fact, installed these types of blinds, which I'm not really happy with the quality of the blind, but I am happy with the result that we're getting, knowing that we can get some really nice curtains at some point that function the same way. I'd like to have the kind that you can pull the string and actually physically move it to a position, but for the time being, this works. Nobody can see my handsome body unless I want them to. So what I was getting at before I remembered the blind thing is I don't know how to tell you to click up here and get to this link and click down here or over there. But we do have, as I said, my third oldest child. Yeah. Sarah, Eric, Kate, Taylor. Katie is the entrepreneur that is doing this thing. We're going to do some bling things, you know? Why not? We're going to say we're the Bannister bus. I'm going to try to do this on a routine basis. I think it'd be fun if you kept up with us. Our objective is to sell this big house we got, take the money and run, like the old song says. But yeah, this is it. This is our life. This is going to be my life. Come to YouTube. Thanks. Love y'all. My dogs love it. I love it. Real quick, anytime we're anywhere, people come to us and say, wow. And then it generates the conversation, and then it ends up in a tour. The most satisfying thing ever. I love y'all. See ya.